We have, there's a product called Deco Drain, and it's a 2-inch wide, 4-inch tall drain. You would install it here. This water runs to the drain. This water running away from your house or whatever it happens to be also runs to the drain and then drains out either way. Or you can just put a valley in here in the concrete and let that suffice. I suggest a lot of control joints cut in the concrete, at least every 8 to 10 feet apart, maybe 6 feet if you're in expansive soil. Control joints are your friend. We want this concrete, if it's going to crack, and there's only 2 types of concrete: concrete that has cracked and concrete that hasn't cracked yet. So we want to, if it's going to crack, let's make it crack in what we call a Clancy joint and joint this concrete out and where it meets or spokes away from the pool, and make it in about 10-foot chunks, as it were, pieces. Make it kind of look like that. And even if you have small decking like this running around the pool, this is only about 3 feet. Well, here I would be putting expansion joints 6-8 feet apart, because this short distance of concrete or width of concrete has a tendency to crack actually more than a wider piece. I don't know why that is, but it does seem to work that way. But it's going to crack, but let's let it crack in the joint. It's already a joint. You're not going to see it. It's not going to cause any harm. We have other drawings that show how you come around your skimmer box. 2 bars in front of the skimmer, 2 bars in back, and you simply loop out around the skimmer. An autofill, same thing, build in here. An autofill has an inlet. Again, we like to reverse circulate the water. So if we're going to put in main drains, we do our plumbing, and we have plumbing drawings that are in pretty good detail on how to build that and how to plumb a pool. If you can put in a sprinkler system, you can plumb a swimming pool. Now, if you don't want to do it yourself, that's fine. Hire a plumber. There's a lot of them out of work right now, I'm sure. Or if you don't want to do the plastering. If you can't find a plaster, find a good concrete guy. If he can finish the concrete on the bottom of the pool, he can plaster. Plaster is nothing more than concrete without rocks in it. And he knows how to use a trowel. So maybe you want to do the outside and have somebody come in that's a professional and do the inside. The only thing that's critical is that the top layer of plaster is smooth. We want that smooth. We want the bottom of the pool smooth. We want a joint here that we're going to put Vulcan caulking in. This is called a cold joint. You can run the steel through the wall here and put steel in the floor. In California here, unless it was an awfully big pool, we would pour 6-sack concrete with 3/8 rock with fiber over our gravel and our 1.25 inch or maybe 3/4 inch insulation. If we were doing steel, we would run it through the wall. We would then have another bar picking up that bar, running all the way around the outside of the pool, and we would just pour like a curb here. Now this has all been tied together. If you don't put steel in, then you can still tie it together. you simply take a big hammer, not a big hammer, but a claw hammer, and a chisel and knock a hole through the plaster and get it back in here to this foam. Now when you pour the floor, that concrete will go back in that hole and tie itself together. And if that's fibered concrete, it's not coming apart. The Vulcan caulking we use here, and it's the only thing you can do this joint with, and the joints where the steps are done. Now I'll show you a brief drawing on the steps.